Are we on?
We are functioning operationally.
Because if it's on, then it's motherfucking on, G.
And it is
4:55, March
definitely on.
March 18th, episode 63. Today is Monday. What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this week? You know what? I didn't do a whole lot of. I got so my mini truck's all completely taken apart. I got to send those axles into somewhere in California. And they'll rebuild them. I tried to get them rebuilt here, but the
Kentucky place couldn't do it.
The Kentucky place, I don't think they have the right part for it because it's an older model. So I tried to have them rebuilt here at one of the at the Power Sports in Dixon, and they're like, we can't rebuild that. So I'll send them away. Probably take a couple weeks and then put it back together.
What's it gonna take to get an extra set? Because like we break axles in the razors, like when we go run them for real, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, shit, we broke them here on the property even. So I mean, having an extra, I have an extra set of.
Once they identify the part, because here's the thing: the problem with the Japanese trucks, the mini trucks, is they don't VIN number.
So they have no way to know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, they have no way of knowing. So once it gets there and it gets identified, then they'll be able to go, this is the parts you need. You can buy another axle, and the axles are only $390 a piece.
Each one.
Yeah.
And all four are different.
No, the front two are the same. The rears are different because this is a rear engine vehicle, so they're shorter off the rear.
So both left and right rear are different, and the front two are the same. So you have three part numbers. So I went in to buy like boots, just fucking boots for the Razor. I'm like, I need some boots. They're like, which one? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, they're boots. They're not the same fucking boot.
They have to be the same boot.
They were not. They all had different. They looked the same, but they had different fucking part numbers to them.
Of course they did.
We've been in the building since, like, Jeff's been here since 8 o'clock. I don't think I've even fucking spoke to Jeff, other than, like, a couple sentences here and there.
Lot going on. We got to get your St. Patty's Days out.
Those are going to ship tonight.
And some other stuff out.
Everything that needed the St. Pat... Well, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Not everything, but a lot of shit did not ship yesterday. It's already boxed. We just couldn't ship it because we didn't have the little free pouch. We now have the free pouch. There's 160 of them. So a lot of those orders will ship tonight. This is the balance of yesterday, so we'll just get right into this.
Mondays. Or Fridays.
Yeah.
Fridays. It's been...
Never miss a podcast. Wish I was surrounded by folks as motivated as you guys on a daily basis. Anywho, thanks as always for taking the time to do them. My question is, have you or Skully ever been to West Virginia? And if you have, what did you think of the state? No. Why would we ever go to fucking West Virginia?
Outside of driving through it, never actually been to a destination in West Virginia.
I have not either, but
we should go to just capture.
we adopted a little handicapped kid for a little while that was from West Virginia. I don't know if is retarded handicapped.
It is a little bit. And the other thing too is when you say, "I wish I was surrounded by people as motivated as you guys are,"
you have to go find them.
That's you. You're surrounded by the people you want to be surrounded by. So go find some people who are. Go befriend some people who are kind of outside of your comfort zone.
You will become what you tolerate.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, toleration. So go someplace where there's some people bettering themselves. Go join a fucking Toastmaster. Learn how to speak in public. Go join a networking group. Go join a fucking Chamber of Commerce. Go where people like I was listening to something today. This dude's like, I lost my job. We were 2 payments behind on the mortgage. They were coming to repo a car. So what did we do? We joined the country club. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? He goes, because I needed to be around better people. I needed to be around people. And when I joined the country club, I couldn't walk like they walked. They looked silly walking that way. And I couldn't dress like they dressed. But I put on enough clothes to eke into the country club. And before you knew it, being around them changed something in me. And I started to act like them, and I started to network with them, and then I started to make the money they were making. And then before you know it, I'm talking like them, and I'm walking like them, and now I'm worth fucking $1 billion. That's what this dude was saying. He's a motivational speaker. He's done several things. He was He was a fucking huge NBA player, as a matter of fact, and then had a job after that. Pretty cool shit. So, you'd be amazed. You are where you are solely because you tolerate it. Go someplace else. Just make new friends, man. You have to go. If you want to be better, you have to go where better people are. Attract them. Join the
Freemasons. They're always looking for
1,000%. And their motto is to ask one, be one. Surely you know somebody, and even if you don't know they are, ask. You will be surprised at who is. 1 million seconds in a day, 1 billion seconds in 31 years, 1 trillion seconds in 688 years.
Yeah, just think about that. They're spending that kind of money in a single day.
Fucking nuts.
Single day.
If anyone is on the fence about an EDC belt, I hope this helps. I'm a big guy, and this is by far the most comfortable belt I have ever owned. Hands down, I wear it every day. It is adjustable in very small increments, giving it a customization not found in normal belts. Oh, and by the way, it's great for carrying a gun both sides, inside and outside the waistband. I was lucky that some simple bitch got me 30% off, and it is well worth the full price. Do you have a left-handed belt or a right-handed belt? I wonder which you
which one you got,
which you chose there.
You may not know this. Go ahead and drink your alcohol beverage. But SOE does we do belt sizes that most other companies won't
Alcoholic
do.
Beverage.
Yeah, they got a drinking game on like.
Got you. Okay.
Like 3 things that I say. I want a list of them.
I wanted to clear up that this is not alcoholic.
Yeah, I want to put it up so I can get you guys at least a good buzz. That we make belts that are outside the normal range. So if you're a big guy and you need a big belt,
we build them up to 68 inches every couple weeks.
So
we build a 74 once a month probably. Our website I think only goes up to 60. If you need a larger size, just order the 60. Put in the notes what size you need. And also, we don't build them. I'm always baffled when I get a dude's like, I ordered your belt and it doesn't fit, and then gives me the tape measure size. Tape measure size has not a fucking thing to do with it. That fucking belt overlaps fucking 6 inches, up to 6 inches.
Yeah.
Like, it says on every fucking page, if you're a 32-inch pant, order a 32-inch belt. I guess guys don't realize that a 32-inch pant does not tape out at 32 inches. Typically, they're about 3 inches bigger. And now you guys are going to try to game our sizing. And like, if you would just fucking listen.
Yeah, just pant size. That's
pant
simple.
size.
It doesn't get any simpler than that.
Like, we did that because dumbasses also can't measure their fucking waist. Or they measure their belly button. Like, it really needs to go where your fucking belt loops are. So we took all that away. The Flint water crisis began in 2014 after the drinking water source from the city of Flint, Michigan was changed from Lake Huron to the Detroit River to a less costly source of water, the Flint River. Due to insufficient water treatment, officials failed to apply corrosion inhibitor to the water. As a result, several problems occurred that culminated with lead contamination, creating a series of public health dangers. The Flint River water that was treated improperly caused lead from aging pipes to leach into the water supply, leading to extremely elevated levels of heavy metal neurotoxin, exposing 100,000 residents to elevated lead levels. Wikipedia, Flint water crisis.
And if you look at the reason why they changed that, it's because somebody was fucking getting a kickback.
Always. Somebody's always profiting from
the Democrats are the ones that are fucking running that city. They should all be fired. Like I said, don't make me president. They should all be fired. National Guard should be moved in. Corps of Engineers, fix this fucking problem now. And then it would be done.
And while they're fixing it, they could have an election.
Yeah.
Simo Haina is credited with at least 505 confirmed kills. Those are fucking baby numbers. I've killed more people than that just fucking through email.
Through email. You're an email assassin.
Just through the throat punch button on Facebook.
Email assassin.
Just got home, saw my black and red thread tool bag. This thing is seriously heavy duty. Ordered late Friday afternoon, and it was here Wednesday. Thank you very much. That's a nice looking bag, man. We're doing multicam black and raid right now, both with red handles. The boys have cut some shit. We got like fucking 6, 7, 8 batches of
Good.
Fucking tool bags out there. Ordered the International Woman's Mystery and Mardi Gras because of the podcast. Gotta itch this. Thanks for the podcast. It makes my 78-mile commute each way to work manageable. Your recommendation podcast helped find some other good stuff to listen to when you shut this down at episode 100. I have been using the Amazon link as much as I can, but sometimes I do it from the iPhone app, and I'm not sure that it gives you credit. Dude, thank you for thinking about us. You want some other podcasts? The EMF CEO podcast. Check that out. That's Andy Frisella. The Survival podcast. The Survival podcast is great. I always go back and listen to them more than one time, just because I've missed bits and pieces of it. But it's a good mindset. Like, if you're listening to us, you're probably you have an interest in, prepping and shit like that. And there's just so much stuff in there. Even if you're not into prepping or survival shit, just lifestyle design, man. There's some really good shit in there. Lore is another podcast I occasionally listen to. Complete different genre. Just if you want to just listen and not fucking... I'm just all day long like boom, 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 boom. I'm fucking 150 miles an hour. And when I want to actually slow down a little bit, I listen to Lore, Aaron Mankey. Jess, what do you got? You got some good ones too.
I just listen to I listen to Joe Rogan. I've been on a what's that guy's name we were talking about the other day? Let's see.
Kim Commando is a good one. For some reason, it actually updates my app every time she does a podcast upload, but I can't listen to her on this app for some reason. How about Sawbones?
I listen to Sawbones. I listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, History on Fire. Both of the How Stuff Works, and then the other one about things they don't want you to know. And then I listen to Ridiculous History. There's some pretty funny shit on there.
Do you listen to SOE?
No, I do not listen to SOE.
I actually listen to us all the time.
John listens all the time. I cannot stand the sound of my voice, so I can't listen to it. I listen to Tactical Talk.
What is that?
It's just it's this young lady who brings ninjas on her show to talk about ninja shit.
I think she had Lance on.
She might have. Let's see. Anything that's World War II podcast.
Is it actually called Anything That's World War II?
No, I just listened to the History of World War II podcast. And then Jordan Peterson, I listen to that. I listen to Joe Rogan. And then
you don't like your voice, but you can listen to Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, because I want to hear what he says.
He sounds like a Muppet.
Yeah, but I still want to hear what he says. And then I listen to Jimmy Dore just for the comedy effect of it,
Jordan
not
Peterson,
for the political.
he does a lot of running, right?
No, Jordan Peterson is he's the guy from Canada who told when they came down and said you have to use the proper pronouns for whatever the person decides that pronoun is. He's the one that said fuck you, I'm not doing it.
You need to look into Jordan Peterson a little further. He's done a lot more than that.
Well, yeah, I know. That's why I'm listening to all his podcasts. Yeah.
He still sounds like a Muppet.
Well, yeah, but...
And you're worried about your voice?
He's a college professor. That's what college professors sound like.
I ordered the internet. He's also like borderline billionaire.
Oh, yeah,
Did you know that?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You want me to have him come in and talk to our crew? Spin him up a little? Ordered the International Women's Mystery and Mardi Gras. Did I already read this one?
Yeah, you read that one.
I feel like I've read all of these.
Maybe we did. Give them to me. It's better when they come over here. Then we don't.
Okay, we're definitely not.
Oh god, we're going into the thick stack now, boys.
Cover me, I'm going in.
Going in deep.
Just started carrying cash again to use at local small businesses. They are passing along a 4% fee the card companies are assessing for the chip technology. They have a sign posted that they don't keep this money and that you can avoid it by paying cash. So you actually know that that's a crime? We did that for a long time in Oceanside, and it was pointed out several times that it is actually illegal
to pass that on. What you have to do is raise your prices. You can give a discount, but you cannot actually add the 4% on. That's actually, and you may or may not know also, those are called fucking costs of doing business. And while it is assessed, it fucking comes off of your fucking taxes. It's a deduction. I bought a gun that way over here in Waverly, and she's like, I'm going to have to put 4% on that card because they charge us 4%. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whatever.
I don't ever point out that it's actually illegal to do that, but it's illegal to do that. The U.S. Army Corps, what the way around it is to give a discount for using cash, which is also a big fucking red flag. That's a fast way. You tell enough motherfuckers that, sooner or later the IRS will be there to look at your shit a little
Yeah,
closer.
because they want to know why you want to do business in cash, because cash is always considered like a under-the-table thing.
It's becoming harder and harder. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has a Mercedes Unimog also. We had some in Saudi and Germany. They were cool. I didn't know what they were at the time. You know, the chainsaw's like $6,000.
Yeah, chainsaw's expensive. Well, the tool normally when you those
Comes with a
Unimogs,
tool complement.
yeah, normally those Unimogs, it's got a screw gun, it's got a concrete buster, and it's got a chainsaw, and it's got a fucking, the god damn it, not the drill, but the take the damn nuts off your car with it.
Impact wrench.
Impact wrench. It's got an impact wrench. And those are the first things get pilfered out of those vehicles because there are people out there with the vehicles that don't have the tools. So those tools end up getting sold like on eBay and shit like that. So it's kind of rare to find a vehicle with the tools in it.
Does the local one have all the tools?
The local one does not have all the tools.
Oh. And she wants $18,000 for it.
So they're out there. They're not a very. Here's the thing about that tractor. It's not a very good tractor.
It's not good at anything.
If you want a real tractor, you're better off. Yeah, like getting a skid steer. Or if you're looking for something in that genre, most modern backhoes, even the Army has a fucking backhoe now that goes 65 fucking miles an hour.
The thing is, though, like, you cannot, no matter what you're fucking doing, you can't beat an excavator, a skid steer. Get a fucking skid steer, not an excavator. And then if you need to dig holes, I don't know why anybody would even use a fucking backhoe anymore when they have excavators existed. Like, I don't know how it didn't make fucking backhoes obsolete.
My thing is purely nostalgia and purely for the, just because.
Are you going to be able to airlay it?
What? Airlay it?
Yeah, are you going to be able to put it on a skid and have the C-130 run real low and parachute it out,
Technically two of those fucking Unimogs going to C-130. So my thing is purely romantic. I'm going to use that thing and I will be fucking sweating under the hot sun.
I can tell you what's going to happen.
There's no cover for the excavator portion of it.
I can tell you what's going to happen.
The cab has no air conditioning, so I will be totally miserable.
Jeff's going to go out in the field and try and clear a nice little fucking clearing so that he can take Gina on a picnic. He's going to get the Unimog stuck. He's going to spend 3 days trying to unstick the Unimog. And next week, he can probably go have a picnic.
I do believe out of all the vehicles, that'll be the only one that does not have the capability of getting stuck. Because I watched the military ones where they actually take them out. They're really hard to get stuck in the first place, but they took them out and got it stuck, and then the guy just took the excavator. He just got back on the excavator and pushed the excavator down and rotated, and it just lifts the truck up and moves it out of the.
That's how you would do the wheel. Change the wheels. The problem with changing the wheel though is you can't lift the fucking wheel.
170.
Are you sure that's all it is?
175 pounds, I think they said. I was looking at it last night because they have the wheel. The spare tire is actually on the back of the truck, and their big thing was. The big thing in the manual was warning: do not attempt to remove this wheel. Do not attempt to remove this wheel.
Doesn't it have a boom?
No, it doesn't have a boom.
How do you get the
on
wheel
your
off
own?
there?
You get another guy and you just push it off and let it roll until it falls.
But you know there'll never be another guy there.
No, there never will be.
There will never be another guy there. I had a tire. Actually, I was putting it in the. So I had some Humvee wheels converted to 8-lug Ford. I actually still have them.
They're fucking heavy.
Because I have 20 fucking Humvee wheels, like brand new tires. But even converted, they're like 120 pounds or so. With the run flats in them, with the magnesium run flats, I want to say they were 250 pounds.
Probably.
So I'm trying to get, and my truck's fucking tall. Like my tailgate, it's on 37s. Yeah. I'm trying to get this thing up on my leg and trying to get up close and try to wheel it up. Like, you'll fuck yourself up.
Yeah,
and my shoulders are fucked up, have been. But this, I lost this wheel, and it went boom, boom, bong, across and uphill to my fucking neighbor's house. God, I'm glad that Corvette wasn't sitting in the driveway.
Oh man, that would have been. Yeah.
Hey guys, I was wondering how you store your bulk preps. I am getting to the point where the closet and under bed getting filled up. Off-site, monthly storage, rental, unit, shed, cellar, etc. We have a lot of different options. Are you asking what you should do? Paying for something, and a lot of times when you need them is going to be an issue to go get them. And then, just temperature control. I mean,
you can get a storage unit. There are storage unit companies out there that are temperature controlled. But if you're gonna, honestly, if you're gonna do a storage unit stash, your storage unit stash should not be in the same city that you're in, or really not even in the same locality. Because if you have some sort of catastrophe where you have to get out of town, chances are you're not going to be able to go to your storage unit because your fucking storage unit is going to be flooded too. So at least if you plan on putting something off-site, make sure that off-site is off-site enough where it's different, where you're actually going somewhere that's going to be out of that crisis area, or at least your city.
Or get rid of some shit. I mean, ideally a room. You'd be amazed what you can put in a room. And even in the room, it doesn't have to be super nice and fucking display organized. Like, we're standing in this room and we have everything on every wall, and then we got some shelves in the middle. Push come to shove, if we really had to store some shit though, we could put at least fucking 200% more shit in here. Like, we could triple this, no problem. Colombian drug cartel almost bought a Russian sub in the 90s. DOJ Operation Odessa.
They've actually found.
I think they have.
They've actually found some real submarines, like real submarines. So it's doable because what the thing about the Soviet Union collapse. When the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia just left everything. They didn't take nothing home. So there's places on the Black Sea that you can go to today. Where there are fucking nuclear, full-on, we're going to fight America to the death submarines just fucking sitting on the beach, rusting away.
There's some in private hands, too. They're used for research and all kinds of shit. Great podcast. When is SOE Cookbook coming out with SOE Cooking Apron? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. We have cooking aprons. We have aprons. They're actually online right now. We've made them for years and years.
We definitely have multicam black right now if you want one.
As far as the fiberglass animals that get decorated, Smithfield, Virginia, yes, like the meat company, has pigs hidden all over downtown. That's cool. Randall, Holland.
That would be interesting to see how many
you could find.
How many you could,
Like a what's that called? Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt, yeah.
I saw something I can unsee. This motherfucker was open carrying with an ankle holster. I may never recover.
Was he in shorts?
Was it on a big diabetes leg?
Yeah.
It's probably on a big diabetes leg.
That's badass.
Or he had on like some surplus combat boots. One of the two. Those are your two options. Yeah. He was in a rascal scooter, or he had on some combat boots. Skully, in your time in the military, did you ever work with Australian Defence Force? And if so, have you got any cool stories about them? I understand Australian F-18 support the Marines with airstrikes a lot in Iraq.
No, you know what? Not really any cool. I can't think of ever hanging out with any Australians.
I have.
The Norwegians were the one, like in Mogadishu. The Norwegians were the ones we hung out with all the time because they had alcohol.
Clearance divers. That's Australians. Australian SEALs are called clearance divers. And they were here doing something with EOD with fucking Rich. And they were all down at Hooters in Mission Valley. And they were eating the chicken wings. But they were eating the bones. Like all of it. They were just... it had to be for shock value, but
I'm sure it was.
Every one of them fools ate all the fucking bones. And they call flashlights torches. It's a torch,
I do have an Australian story. Me and Corporal Howard we were in Australia, and we decided we were just going to fucking go off the beaten path, and we walked for a fucking long time. And we ended up across the street from this Australian Army base, and we're not really thinking, and so we go into this bar, and it is full of Australian Army guys, and they are way too drunk and they're way too getting. They've every 2 seconds a fight is breaking out all around us, and we had like 2 beers, and we're like, man, we got to get out of here.
How do we get out of here?
We're not gonna make it out of here alive. So we go out, and we're kind of standing out front, and these 2 Australians come out. Regular old Honda Corolla pulls up with a taxi sign on it, and a fucking Pakistani guy with his music blaring and his beads all over everything, and they're like,
in Australia,
yeah, and they're like, we got 6, and the guy's like, I can only take 4. He goes, they're like, open the bonnet. And so they popped the trunk on this taxi and stuffed 3 guys in the back. Stuffed 3 guys in the trunk, and then the rest got inside the car and they drove off. I'm like, we got to get the fuck out of
here. Hey guys, just wrapped up another big lot in Maryland and arrived home to my large SOE tool bag and micro shotgun rig and H harness. Love your gear and insight. Thanks for the podcast and killer gear. We'll be ordering again. Brandon Sweeney, man. Thank you.
Thanks for ordering,
Brandon.
Brandon.
Thanks for choosing SOE, man.
You ordered something else because I saw your order because I was like, Sweeney.
Yeah, different Sweeney.
John,
smart move on the 4Runner. I recently bought a Lexus GX470. I took out the 3rd row seat and unbolted and completely removed the 2nd row seat. It has 6.5 feet of room from the back to the back of the front seat, longer than most truck beds you see nowadays, and all my shit locked up and has cameras on it. Never thought I'd own an SUV. Always been a truck guy, but so far I'm loving it. So that's the thing, man. I have SUVs, several of them. I have several trucks, but every time I'm in the truck, like, I will drive a truck if we have to move some shit. Driving the truck is never my fucking choice. It's always, like, isn't it? I mean, it's always the SUV. So unless you have like a full-size Dodge with 4 doors, which I have, but it's just so much more convenient. And I'm to the point now where, fuck, man, I just want to drive a fucking new truck that has heat that works and air conditioning that works, and all of them do. But there's a difference between a 2006, a 2010, to a fucking 2020, 2019 right now. There's a big difference in that shit.
The older the car is, the more noises it makes.
And the more, like, the slower you have to go to get there, you know? Even with the fucking, even an older Porsche compared to a modern Porsche. A modern Porsche, it's just smooth, man. You say all the time, don't tell me what, oh, I missed one. No, I didn't. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Tell me what you actually did. So after working my ass off since I was 16, starting my own business at 19, and making good investments in the stock market, I'm 33 and finally bought the truck of my dreams. Congratulations, man. A 2019 Ram 1500 Limited 4x4. Oh, this is Gary Johnson. This motherfucker looks like a Starship Enterprise inside. Not saying all this to brag. I'm saying this for the guys that are currently where I was when I started out. Keep grinding and saving all the money you can. It will get better and easier. But keep moving forward every day. That's 100%. You have to have, the more money you have, the more money it makes. If you go and just instant gratification, I get it. It feels good to spend money. It releases endorphins. You sleep better at night. As the endorphin release, when it comes down, you are at peace. You rest easier. But you have to have money to make money. You have to fucking have money that makes money. You have to, otherwise you can't go do that shit. You have to save some money. You have to put the fucking time and work in and live like you don't want to live, or you'll never get to live like you want to live. The supposed shooter in Las Vegas had 2 airplanes registered in his name. You can see pictures of him standing in front of his aircraft. After finding out who he was, guys started looking all over the internet into what his airplanes were, where his airplanes were. After searching his tail numbers, one was confirmed to actually be registered to DOJ. Something sounds fucky about this. You'll see the same stuff if you look at the airplanes that crashed into the Pentagon and some of the hijacked aircraft on 9/11. You will see that those tail numbers have shown up a lot of other places that were super questionable as well. The theory is that those were remote-controlled aircraft, and there was a group of hostages that were actually said to have been hijacked in a plane with the exact same numbers on it also.
All right, Alex Jones, stop it.
You want me to send you the video?
No, the video's bullshit.
What about this video? What about this?
That's bullshit too. The problem is it's all incidental information that it's one of those things that if I was to do something tomorrow, there would be plenty of pictures of me somewhere where you would go, "Oh shit, is he at the FBI Academy? Oh man, is that a picture of him coming out of the HRT building at the FBI Academy? There has to be something to this." Incidental, man. I've been to the FBI Academy. I don't work for the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, or the other 62 intelligence agencies that are currently working in the United States.
Do you have any opinion on Stephen Avery? He's a Wisconsin man who spent 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't. I think he meant to say commit. Didn't. They made a Netflix special called Making a Murderer. He ends up going back to prison for murder. Wow. I'm not familiar with it.
That's another one of those things too that Netflix did the special on it. And what you really need to listen to is the podcast that is Making a Murderer. It's Making a Murderer.
Great again.
Something. God damn it! It's actually the people that covered this actual crime, and there's so much shit that Netflix omitted to make him look like he did commit this crime that. Once again, it's all about perception. If I can distort the facts just enough to give you the perception that it didn't happen, doesn't mean it didn't happen. The guy actually did do exactly what. You gotta look at it from a different angle. Go do a little more due diligence research on it. The problem with Netflix, Hollywood in general, is they always twist something to their benefit. It's kind of like, I'll give you a good example. The Freddie Mercury movie that just came out, the Queen movie. In that Queen movie, they have him going to check and see if he is HIV positive before the Wimbledon event. Not true. He did not find out he was HIV positive until after the Wimbledon event, years after the Wimbledon event. The reason why they did that is because they were trying to make the Wimbledon event like the big thing. That was the big thing. And so they had to cram all this other bullshit in prior to something. So that's a problem with anything. They have what do they call it? Not intellectual. I can't think of what they call it, but they are artistic. They take artistic, they change it artistically so they can make it what they want to make it. It doesn't make it fact, and Netflix does the same thing. So do a little more due diligence.
Are they saying this guy was in prison for 18 years? They find out that he didn't do it, let him out, and then he ends up going back for the exact same crime because they found out he did. I don't
believe he actually got out of jail.
Got it.
I think because they went over his case, and so everybody was like, basically he's in prison going,
I didn't do this.
I didn't do this. This is that. Blah blah blah. This is the facts. This is why I didn't do it. So Netflix does this special on Making a Murderer, as in they made him to be a murderer when he really wasn't a murderer, but they basically change things in order to fit their perspective instead of just going off of the actual facts.
Samsung is Korean. Nokia.
Korea!
The Japanese make evil little ones. That's from Sector 9. It's from
Sector
Transformers.
9? Transformers?
When he zaps that little fucking... He puts that thing next to the Allspark and it makes the phone into a little fucking robot. Sorry, Skully. They were USS Scorpion and USS Thresher.
Yeah, 2 nuclear submarines. So, anyways.
Possible idea. SHOT Show style badge holders with 2 clear windows to hold your phone around your neck, chest level, so you can go hands free.
Oh, shit.
Thanks for the Baby Shark soundtrack in your last kitchen video. Now I have a bunch of Baby Shark videos in my suggested feeds on YouTube. And like a retard, I clicked on the first one.
That's the best one, the first one.
Baby Shark.
Sure.
Do. Podcast 8 just came up on my YouTube home feed. And it was playing English subtitles of everything you weren't saying accurately. You could mute it and read all the words. Great for deaf dudes, I guess. Keep it up, fellas. John, do you feel you're living the best you ever have? I don't know. I think so. I mean, I'm fucking performing better than I ever have, I think. I don't know.
Do you? I don't know. Well, I can say no. I mean,
I'm sore, like, when I wake up. My joints, fucking, I feel older. But fuck, man, I kill it every day.
I'd say, I mean, for me, no.
I'm not?
No, me.
You.
But you.
Maybe
but what you're saying, though...
Maybe you should do what I do.
No, I can't... See, my problem is the culmination of my life existence happened in Husayba in Iraq. That is the peak of my life existence, because that, from the time I was 2 years old till the time I got to Husayba, Iraq with Baker Company 17, that was the culmination of my life experience. Everything after that has been, it's downhill. I'm just 1 foot in the grave.
I'm just training. We still have to go to Tomb
Because
Raider.
for you too, though, so you say that you're killing it, but are you killing it harder than you were killing it before? Like, you've always, if you're talking about this place, you've always been deep in the sewing machine. You want to go, when you decide you want to go ride motorcycles, you go deep into riding motorcycles. When you decide you want to do whatever you put on as your thing, you go deep into it. You just don't, it's not like, we're going to go ride motorcycles around the property. You're like, hey, we're going to go out and ride motorcycles with the top 5 guys in the world. You know what I'm saying? You always go deep. So are you saying that you're as good now as you were? Or are you just more organized? Because it seems like,
I don't know.
Because I would say, like John Willis of 10 years ago or 15 years ago, that you were very, like I said, when you wanted to ride motorcycles, we're going to the desert, we're riding with the top 3 guys in the world. You want to shoot guns, we're going to go shoot guns with Navy SEAL. But very one world focused. Where now I think you're a little more rounded and all that. Cause I guess basically because you did do all that shit. So I don't know. It just
Maybe.
seems...
Got it out of my system. Hey guys, love the podcast and the belts I've ordered. This may be the longest, but was wondering if Skully knew a cousin of mine. Maybe a long shot.
Oh, God.
Sergeant Andy Stevens. He was a scout sniper and was out of 29 Palms 27 Weapons Company. He was killed in Fallujah, Iraq, December 1st, 2005, along with 9 others from IED. That's where, wasn't Jared's brother?
27.
Jared's brother was in
December 5.
Fallujah then.
I don't know that. I don't know that incident with 27. December 2005. That probably would have been right. When did I get out? 2008?
I was in prison then.
2008. Maybe I got out in 2008.
So that would have been around the time
that would have been
those
the
contractors on the bridge.
Yeah, I don't know, because it would have probably been. We probably would have been, because I was with 17 at that time, and I think we were actually ships passing in the night. I think when they were coming back, we were going in.
I don't understand why I get sleepy in a chair and then go to bed where I'm wide awake. I do that too. If I'm in a car, as soon as I get out of that car, we're ready to go. I can nap and recharge on the way to the target. Once we're at the target, we're ready to fight. I don't understand. This is fucking great. Thanks for taking the time to record these last gasps. I hope it's not your last gasps. Hey, John.
Uh-oh.
I've heard you say that you enjoy listening to conspiracy theories. Have you ever listened to anything from John Lear? He's the son of the guy who designed the Learjet. I've heard about this. He used to work for the CIA and holds every FAA license and rating available. He goes into aliens, moon bases, secret submarine bases, all kinds of stuff. Thanks for the great and awesome podcast. It's pretty crazy so many of the dudes saying the craziest fucking most outlandish shit have credentials like that guy has. I have not, but I'm sure that when I turn YouTube on tonight while I'm sewing, that this will come right up. And John Lear's going to come right to the top. You know who I like is David Icke. Ike. You'll see pronounced different ways. Look at any of that dude's shit. Holy fuck. If you could just leave, like, the lizard people out of it. Like, you had me 100% until you throw the lizard people in there.
The lizard people.
But I don't know, man. A lot of people say there is
it in the realm of possibility.
Fucking Princess Diana's best friend. There's an audio tape and videotape where she swears to God, Princess Diana said that the fucking queen is hundreds of years old, and they just switch bodies, and they do it through a vibration kind of thing. All the world is actually, everything in the world is vibration and energy, and that's like there's a couple videos out there that are fucking out there.
Well, the queen is 100 years old.
That's what I'm saying. They're saying she is not 100 years old. She is hundreds of years old.
Think about this. The queen was 20...
She had tea with Hitler.
20... I want to say the queen was 26 when she took the throne. Not when she took the throne, but... God. When her... How'd that work?
When I was watching all that shit on the Vatican, that all came up.
Yeah, the queen has been, whether she's 200 years old or not, the queen has been around the motherfucking block. She knows a thing or two about what's going on in the world. If you want to debrief somebody that's kind of in the know, she'd be the one.
Snatch her up.
Yeah,
That's why she has such high security. It's not to protect her; it's to protect the fucking information. I don't know why they don't just knock her off.
The queen has been in the know.
Need pistol mag pouches in Marpat. Send me an email, fire177277. The Navy uses Seahawks, which is essentially the same as the Black Hawk. The Seahawk H-60 goes on destroyers and fits fine. The UH-1 and AH-1 share some part compatibility. Likely saves the Crayon Eaters money.
Listen up there, Squid Boy. The AH-60 that the Navy uses is different than the one that the Army uses.
So you're still a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Always a Marine, yeah, that's the theory.
This guy was Navy EOD, I believe. He's out, so is he still Navy?
No. They don't have that kind of tradition.
They don't get
they're just...
They don't rate.
Yeah, they're...
Did the Marine Corps... The Marine Corps was founded in a pub.
In a bar.
Before the Navy?
No, after the Navy.
Was the Navy a real Navy? I mean,
it was a real Navy.
They had cloth sails.
The problem that the
I want a tall ship.
There are some tall ships. I believe there's actually.
You know what I fucked up with? All the time living in San Diego, I never went out on the Star of India.
You should have went.
Hey, did you go underway on the Star of India?
Never underway. Always when it was in port.
Yeah, I've been on. I want to steal it.
Oh, you want to steal it? Well, we are probably closer.
You know, the motherfucker's getting stolen this weekend, and they're going to come and want to talk to me.
we're actually probably closer to the ship that they use for commanders and.
Oh yeah,
we're probably closer to that ship. I believe that's an East Coast ship.
Man, every time I'm someplace and I see ships in bottles, I just want to buy them. Like model sail ships. I love model. You know, like those old ships, right? I love that shit. If I buy one of those motherfuckers, I'm gonna have fucking 400 of them. Though I have to I'll have it in my hands. I'm like, I'm going to buy this, and I always put it back because that's just. We'll have to have another building for them.
I saw something pretty interesting. So I was watching this video about how we did human experiments on the people of Micronesia in Indonesia. With our nuclear tests. So when we were testing all the nuclear bombs, we basically didn't evacuate any of those people far enough.
Intentionally.
Yeah, intentionally. So after 5 years or 4 years
of irradiated fish,
they basically said, hey, you guys can move back home. Just go back to your islands. And so they moved them back to their islands, and it's nothing to laugh about. All these people started getting every type of cancer you can think of, thyroid cancer, because everything... Basically, what the U.S. military was looking for is the big thing was they could trace the isotopes from the dirt to the food to the people, so they could see how that radiation would affect all the way through the feed chain. So it gets to a point where these islanders are like, "Hey man, everybody's just fucking dying. We need to get the fuck out of here." Well, they don't have any money to leave, and the U.S. government's like, maybe later. So Greenpeace goes. They call on Greenpeace, and Greenpeace is like, "We're on our way," and they go to rescue all these people. And
didn't we sink the Greenpeace ship?
We didn't sink
it. We actually limpet mined a Greenpeace fucking boat.
They did, but they go and anyways. They go and get these people, and they move them off these fucking islands. I think it took them a month or something, but Greenpeace was moving all these people off these islands. They've got in this video. I am sure that Greenpeace has a much nicer boat now, but they had an old small oil tanker ship. So like something you would have oil in, right? With sails on it. Huh. So a fucking modern, not a modern, but modern for 1960 boat with tall sails. The whole thing, tall sails. So they're actually moving through with tall sails and not using any fucking, you know, it was pretty interesting. Anyways.
So did they get the people?
Yeah, they moved them all off the two islands.
They put them in the oil hold?
When you see them,
how do you clean those tanks? I guess just with gasoline.
Yeah, when they show the video, they just show them on top of the on deck. So I think wherever they were taking them wasn't very far.
I want to harpoon a whale.
Well, we need to go to Alaska.
But I want to do it.
You need to join an Eskimo tribe.
I want to do it with a Greenpeace boat. I want to get a Greenpeace ship and go hunt.
I don't even know.
Does Greenpeace exist anymore? We'll be hearing in a minute. Yeah. Like fucking, I'm sure somebody.
I want to say they do, because the big thing that Greenpeace does now. Well,
if you want to buy the whale, if you want to render it down for cologne or perfume or whatever, I am only interested in the skeleton.
There's two ways of doing it. One, you have to go to Alaska and join an Inuit tribe.
Which it's not unfathomable.
It's not
for
unfathomable.
A very nominal fee, probably.
And the other one,
if you just get them booze.
The other one is probably more tailored for you. Would be, you got to go to Japan and go on one of their
dark tourism
scientific boats where they still harpoon whales. But that's what Greenpeace is doing now. They get in their little fucking rubber boats and get in the way of the Japanese ships. So they can't harpoon. They've run people over. They've knocked boats. Yeah.
If you're bold enough to get out there, you fucking reap the consequences. I'd fucking be shooting at the dude driving the boat.
Greenpeace, if you really want to up your game, go buy a Russian submarine and just start torpedoing those things.
It was Rainbow Warrior.
The boat was a Rainbow Warrior. Yeah.
Because White Lion.
Yeah.
The heavy metal hairband, the not so heavy metal hairband, made a song called Rainbow Warrior.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Rainbow Warrior. That's what picked the Polynesians up to move them off that.
Oh, that was?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that the fucking. I thought it was. Wasn't it the Israelis sank?
I think
somebody sank that motherfucker. Somebody limpet mined that bitch.
Yeah, they did. I remember when that happened. I think it happened in France.
After pondering it as well. The H-60 would be a solid upgrade to the Huey. However, it would mean introducing another parts bin to the Marine supply system to use a platform that's role is already filled by both rotary wing and ring aircraft, and in the inventory being Osprey UH-1 and UH-1. At the end of the day, they have a good utility aircraft with the Huey, and it's likely just not worth it to upgrade. That's the helicopter we could totally.
Well, they've upgraded them. They're 4-blade now. They're not the old 2 blades that.
We used to heavy drop the Unimogs SEE at Fort Bragg. There was a 20% fail rate. The hydraulic chainsaw that plugs into it costs $6,000 if you misplace it. There you go.
Wait. That's amazing. The hydraulic chainsaw costs $6,000 if you misplace it, but 20% of the time we're turning this thing into a giant dart.
Did you hear about the SEALs trying to airlay the fucking cigarette boats, the Scarabs?
Not crash. I mean, I know that they've done it. I don't know about
they
crashing.
Crashed a bunch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they crashed one right in fucking Pacific Beach.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That motherfucker
It's a parachute anomaly. You're
dropping
throwing
a $5 million race boat.
Yeah, you're throwing something
The
out
Mark
of
19 would actually crack the fucking fiberglass when they'd fire that bitch.
You're throwing something out of an airplane that is not supposed to be able to fly. So naturally, 20% of the time you're gonna fucking
get it down. You gotta splinter some up, some toothpicks. What are your thoughts on judge ruling that Remington can be sued by Sandy Hook victims?
It's obviously it's a liberal leaning judge that made that judgment. It's going to get bounced around the courts. It'll either get thrown out in a lower court, or it's going to get thrown out, in the Supreme Court. It equates just to the same thing of can you sue Ford because a drunk driver crashed his Ford truck into your family and killed your family? No, you cannot sue Ford. It's not the intention. So it'll end up going through the courts and getting thrown out, or it won't, and they'll get sued, and Remington will pay a fucking penalty. It's the cost of doing business.
How about when you die because you were making toast in your fucking bathtub? Why should your family be able to sue because your dumbass electrocuted yourself?
I mean, it's one of those things about products. It'll be an interesting case, but I do believe that it's going to get thrown out. It'll probably get thrown out in the whatever court they go to sue them in. It'll probably get thrown out.
Understand your question was for them, but it's a farce because Sandy Hook never happened. Man, there's some compelling evidence out there that Sandy Hook did not happen.
You're going to get us turned off.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're going to get us shut down. That's exactly why they killed fucking Alex Jones. Talking that Sandy Hook bullshit.
I think they actually killed Alex Jones. I think he's
Is that a reincarnation?
I think he got Elon Musk.
He got Elon Musk.
He got some Musk on him. Some lawyers are going to make a lot of money getting it overturned. That was probably the point. The Popeyes in the west side of Chicago. What is that?
I'm assuming Popeyes, you're talking about the chicken franchise.
Okay. I thought they would call it like a type of person. Had one of my favorite banana puddings. I don't know why that specific location had the best. I've been to other Popeyes and it's not the same. Maybe it was the risk of life and limb that no shit to make it taste so good. I think we should take exotic cars and just drive all over the United States from destination to destination. But every time we drive like one car to this place, and then when we go to the next place, we drive a different car. Exotic cars.
Okay.
As fast as you can, race, like cannonball style, with trying not to get arrested kind of shit. To go eat dessert.
Is there a point? Is there a point? I'm sure somebody out there can answer this. I bet you can answer it. Is there a point? Is there a speed outside of losing your driver's license? Is there a speed that would make you a felon?
Yeah, in Virginia, fucking anything pretty much will. Yeah, they don't even run. Most of those places, they bypass. Like fucking Virginia's one of them, or what? Maybe it's West Virginia. There's a few states like that. Some states, I want to say California, 15 miles over is fucking a felony. So yes, there is. There's other states that are, more cool with it. The guy complaining about the sound is right. It pops a bit sometimes. Not super annoying normally, but when in a car, it gets amplified. Pop filter may be needed. Anyways, good show as always. Right on.
That pop sound is coming from the elevator. It's usually when Gabby comes down in the elevator, and that's what's creating that vibration, and you're getting that pop. Because she won't take the stairs like we have to.
I was in some really, really old buildings this weekend. Really old buildings. And you go in on floor level, and there's a second level, and there's a third level, and some have a fourth level. We were literally walking around on floors, and I'm like, wait till I go across here. I don't think this will hold both of us. Like I would walk across and everything on the whole top floor would move, and she was walking like with her hands in her pocket because it was cold up there. I go, take your hands out of your pocket. If you fall through the floor, you need to be able to catch yourself. But we're going up from the first floor to the second floor, and we get up and there's a door, and I'm looking for the third floor. I'm like, it said this place has a third floor. There's a door, but it's like a small door. So I open it, and it's a set of stairs. And beside it, it says, human-powered escalator. So I'm looking around. I'm looking around for like the dumbwaiter. I'm expecting to get like an elevator cart and I'm going to do this, you know. I'm looking for the fucking elevator and didn't realize it's a fucking staircase.
We had, being in those rickety building positions, so we were doing an RNS thing down in, I think we were in Sacramento, but they thought they were funny and they had locked us into this place that you couldn't get out of.
All you gotta do is jump through the floor.
Well, we went through somebody's house. We ended up going through somebody's house to get on another side of this building where we could access the roof. And so we're crossing the roof, and this is SOTG, so we're not wearing any fucking military backpacks. All our stuff is in these fucking huge duffel bags that are totally you can't fucking really maneuver with them. And Schmidt has the duffel bag over his shoulders, and it has 2 radios in it, all our camera gear, and some batteries and some other shit. And we're 4 stories up in the air. Underneath us is a naval underneath us is a naval fucking
abandoned. Like
it's abandoned,
full of everything. Like
but
they just walked
every
away.
type of machine. It's a machine shop of some sort. So there's fucking machines and just straight underneath us. So we're walking over this roof, and I see that bullshit fiberglass, that has the waves in it, that comes in colors, and I see it, and I'm like,
and it's on the floor,
and it's on the roof right there, and
on the roof. Okay.
It's obviously a sky, you know how they're getting some lights.
Yeah.
So I step around it. Travis is right behind me, and I go, Travis, do not fucking step on that, because that's just some bullshit fiberglass. And he's like, Roger. Keep going. Not 3 seconds later, I hear somebody screaming. And I turn around, and as I turn around, I see Travis is good. He's across. He's getting down to grab Schmidt. Schmidt is up to his fucking armpits in this fucking piece of fiberglass. And when I turn around, all I'm thinking is, oh shit, because I see that duffel bag that he had on his shoulders. It's just rolling right off the fucking building.
Holy fuck.
Oh, man.
Speaking of Travis, you have any more to that story?
No, that's it. Just
okay,
you gotta
so Travis,
be careful when you're on high roofs.
So one of the dudes from Ackley's was here this weekend.
Okay, Ackley's.
And he's talking about there's a super exclusive weapon shoot that they do out at SHOT Show.
Uh-huh.
And Jim Tietzel actually puts it on. So he mentions Wilcox Industries, and Pierre's like, you know anybody at Wilcox? I'm like, we know the fucking dude from Wilcox.
Probably not anymore.
Okay, I didn't know that. So
I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
Just small fucking world.
Yeah.
Small world. But they bring out all their 40
maybe he still is.
They bring all their 40 mic shit out there to do that shit. Just small fucking world, you know. I meant to tell you that Travis came up yesterday, and here you just brought Travis up.
Wilcox Industries.
Wilcox Industries. I got some. No, we can't talk about that on. Weird you talk about those Unimogs. I literally saw one for the first time like 2 weeks ago. Reticulatory. What's RIS?
I don't know.
It's like when you buy
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
You buy a car and all of a sudden you see them everywhere. It's
yeah,
because your body. It's the reticulatory something system. I can't fucking remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I'll say it as soon as we walk out.
If I say blue Ford pickup trucks, and you're gonna be like, I've never seen a blue Ford pickup truck, and then tomorrow all day, that's all you're gonna see.
It's how you tune shit out. It's why you tune out your fucking heart beating in your left ear and shit like that. It's why sometimes you hear conversations and other times you just don't even hear conversations. That's what we're talking about. I thought it was cool, and then when I drove by, but didn't think they were that uncommon. I should have stopped. They call her a Katoi. It means ladyboy in Thai.
Oh yeah. They are a national treasure in Thailand.
Yep.
They are. When I say this, I'm not kidding. They are a national treasure. So if you go over there and you get fucking drunk and you end up in your hotel room and she pulls her package out, don't get upset. Chalk it up as an experience and move along. If you fucking touch her, if you get her pissed off, the police are going to come and they're going to fuck you up. So Remember, they're a national treasure in Thailand.
Wow, hey, the bus story is absolutely true. In Subic Bay, Philippines, Pattaya Beach, Thailand, yes, whenever the Navy and Marines pulled up, the drop-offs start to go down. Hey, bro, love the podcast, listen to it every day. I'm in port, love the sea stories from you and Skully. This is a long one.
Uh-oh, long one.
Oh, it's your boy Daniel Marshall. You gentlemen, talking about being in the building and locking up last thing. Wow, got me thinking of my first job at SR Gent. It was an old 3-story mill with a basement and also a new extension. The extension was on one side of the mill for all 3 floors. The old section was basically extended out one side of the mill into the new portion. Anyway, quite often, we'd get in first thing, and you could be on your own in certain parts of the factory. And when I had my first meeting with Pipe Hammer, I managed to just stop short of shitting my pants. With Pipe Hammer? Yes, I heard the explanation. Oh, he's talking about the jackhammering of the pipes, probably, from the water. Yes, I heard the explanation of what's going on to create the banging, knocking of the pipes. But you can piss up your own back before I'm staying in the factory, in a factory on my own with Pipe Hammer. Anyway, in closing, I always thank you all the best. As always, thank you all the best.
It doesn't matter how.
You walk by a building, you're in a building by yourself, and you see your own reflection in a mirror, you'll jump.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. That's the thing. Buildings will make noises that are unexplainable, and even if you get afterwards, you get to a point where, oh, that noise is coming from that radiator right there. The next time it happens, it's going to be some other noise, and you're going to be like, what the fuck? It's kind of the same thing when you're in the woods at night and you see somebody in the woods, and you're like, you're looking and you're looking and you're watching and you're looking and you're changing, and you see that motherfucker standing there staring at you. Rule of thumb is count to 30. Just count to 30 in your head. No one can stay still for more than 30 seconds. They just can't do it. Just count to 30 while you're staring at them, and they'll eventually move. They will eventually not move. And if you don't see it move in 30 seconds, tomorrow when you go out there, it's just going to be a weird bush or a log or something.
Better yet, why don't you have a fucking flashlight with you?
Maybe you can't use the flashlight because you're sneaking around.
Marshall again.
Uh-oh, Marshall.
Yes, Fanny leads to much laughter here in the UK because of the US-UK nuance. Though we do say fannying about, which fannying is basically arsing about. He again says, and now talk of Unimogs. Oh man, things can't get better. I'd love to have a fucking newer Unimog. What do you guys think about kinetic rod weapon? About a kinetic rod weapon? Hell, I wondered about the idea back when I was a teenager, but if I could comprehend it as dumb as a teenager, some engineer at DARPA had to have done it years before. My point is, I think at least one of these top secret satellites we got up there is a kinetic rod weapon. Your thoughts?
They've already. The weird thing is, so the weird thing is you've already seen it in a movie, right? You've seen it in G.I. Joe. So you've already seen it in a movie. And the Air Force just... Well, first off, you should pay attention to the news. You know that the fucking Donald Trump just turned over Space Force to the Air Force.
Holy shit.
If it should go to anybody, it should go to the Navy. Because everybody knows that a battle cruiser is a naval vessel. Anyways.
Plus they have SEALs. And
they have SEALs.
SEALs really kill lots of
people. What would be cooler than Space SEALs? Makes no sense, but there couldn't be anything cooler than Space SEALs.
What'd be crazier is there will be more people up in space than could pass buds. Like that should be more elite, but you know it won't be.
It won't be. Yeah, it won't be. But so you've seen it in a movie already. The Air Force is in charge of Space Force now, and the Air Force just within the last couple of months have been saying, hey, we want to do this fucking the Rod of Destiny and shit in space, which means it's already up there. It's already up there circling the Earth, and they've already got it in control. They just use black money. Now they want to use real money to maintain it.
So did he just get bored of it? He's like, fuck it, you guys can have it.
I think maybe. I think what I think happened is Donald Trump was hoping that there was going to be new infrastructure, that it was going to be like Space Force, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Army,
right.
And the Air Force has kind of already cornered the market on Space Command, because they have Space Command really exists, guys. It existed since 1982. Bill Clinton is the one who created Space Command.
Plus, I mean, they got the Stargate. I mean, Iron Mountain and all that.
That's I mean, and they don't. Here's the thing about the Air Force. What I told you this before, right? They don't really want to. They don't really want to be flying in an A-10 over some fucking battlefield somewhere on the planet, going slow, dropping dumb bombs on fucking bad guys. They want rocket ships. They want to go fast into space with one missile on it that kind of works or kind of doesn't work. They don't care because they want to go out into space. So Space Force takes it, but they probably already have the what you're talking about, the Hammer of God, or that kinetic energy weapon where you just drop a piece of tungsten from space and it destroys the planet. So it probably already exists. There's another thing too, and I'm only going to say this because we're on space. You know why the cargo? So the cargo bay on the space shuttle. I just recently found this out.
I heard this a couple of weeks ago.
There was a Russian satellite that we actually went up and intercepted with a space shuttle, brought it into the space shuttle, took it apart to figure out what it was doing, then put it back together and put it in orbit, and the Russians never knew that we did it. So there's your payload.
Imagine if they had a self-destruct.
Yeah, because there are the Russians have.
I heard they have some fucking weapon that fits in the cargo hold.
Oh, I'm sure. Think about this. NASA in 1995 or 90. I can't remember what year it is. It's sometime in the 90s. NASA did a urgent need statement, which is pretty weird for NASA because they can just spend money. But they came up with an 81 millimeter shoulder fired weapon. You can YouTube it. Just look up 81 millimeter shoulder fire weapon. But NASA had it built. Why they had it built, I don't know. Maybe there is fucking really UFOs out there. But they actually shoot this. They actually have a bunch of guys out there shooting this fucking thing off their shoulder. It's pretty ridiculous.
What's the best chicken eggs? I don't know what.
The free ones? Boom! Get your own chicken. Get some chicken eggs.
Haven't heard in a couple days, couple videos, so here it is. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark. You got way too many do do do's. It doesn't work. Joe Weber. Hey John. Skully, ever thought about building carpenter's tool bags? I use my SOE belt to carry my current pouches, which wear out about once a year. It would be great to have some quality bags rocking the SOE logo, melting snowflakes, and pounding nails. Let's keep those podcasts coming. Maybe.
I like the idea of melting snowflakes.
I second the SOE carpentry tool bags. I'd buy them right meow. Right meow?
What is different between a carpentry bag and a large tool bag?
I don't know.
Basically, I think what they want is all them little pockets that are on the outside that you put stuff in that you lose and you never.
Yeah, that nobody uses.
You never find. You
want a totally stripped down carpenter tool bag that costs 10 times as much, because that's what you would have. It would cost 10 times as much because all that shit is coming from China. Love the podcast. It's my constant work companion. I wear an EDC low profile belt and carry a tool bag with me every single day. I'm wearing a low pro right now. All the Pizzagate shit is unbelievable. When I started looking at it more, I don't understand how people can still support the Democrat Party. And I didn't say love Trump. Then again, there are people who still think that Nirvana is a good band and Kurt Cobain, cocaine, was somehow a brilliant musician. His best album was Shotgun. That was his best album. Any music that comes out of Seattle, any of those, fucking terrible music, fucking horrible. No wonder kids were killing themselves like that. Could you guys please speak about the music you listen to? I listen to rap music. It's funny, kids. You hear all this modern day rap, right? They're saying it's all about using drugs. When we were kids, it was all about selling drugs. That's the problem. I've heard a culture dies when the music dies. True country music died when Garth Brooks released his first album. Sorry for the long post.
They say that you become stagnant and die if you cannot accept the next generation of music. So think about that.
I'm constantly listening to all the new shit coming out.
Yeah, what you pimping for Lady Gaga?
I didn't know Lady Gaga had anything new. Does she?
Yeah, her and Bradley Cooper, man. It's like
Are
the
you
number
talking
one
about
album.
Are we talking about like her unplugged shit? You know, she just shows up in bars and does a concert under a different name.
She does all kinds of crazy shit.
John, try CBD oil. It won't really help you fall asleep, but once you go to sleep, it helps you put you in a deep sleep. CBD is good for a lot of things, and it doesn't get you high, and good quality oil won't show up on a drug test. The Jesuits.
It can't show up on a drug test if it's CBD oil.
If it doesn't have the, what is it?
The cannabinoids,
but what's the THC?
THC, yeah.
The Jesuits are a
Jesuits.
faction of a ruling elite that control the world from behind the curtain.
No,
So it's the cabal?
I wouldn't really say that, because the Jesuits spent their time in hell. But it is true that the current Pope is a Jesuit, and he has said a lot of stuff. He has said a lot of stuff that he has had to... I don't want to say he's had to take back, because it's one of those things, when the Pope goes, eat cheeseburgers, the church...
I think at the end he sweeps
sweeps
from
over.
the right
It's a little...
down to the
when
left.
you're doing
went the other
cheeseburger,
way.
when the Pope says something like that, and then the church... The Pope won't come back out and go, I meant salads. The Pope won't do that. But the church later on, you'll hear, there'll be like a little PSA where they'll come out and they'll be like, yeah, the Pope didn't really mean meat cheeseburgers. He was talking about salad cheeseburgers. Make sure you eat them salad cheeseburgers. So I don't know how much he has, because like he did come out and say, there's no hell. And then the church came out. So it's really interesting.
Come on,
in the sense that
you just fucked us up.
that the leader of the church comes out and goes,
All the
there's
tithing.
no hell. And then the church comes out and goes, yeah, what he really meant is you're going to burn in hell, motherfucker, so you better throw them tidings back at it. So, I don't know. It's everybody was... Here's the thing about our current Pope. When you say the Jesuits run everything... No, he's not. But he has hung out with Muslims, so who knows? Everybody was afraid of our current Pope. Like, the church was actually afraid of making him Pope because of his lifestyle prior to becoming Pope. Because he was a Jesuit, he was living down in South America in a one-room apartment, wearing the Jesuit gear, not wearing the Papo gear where he's got all the rings and stuff. So he was more communist than he was Catholic Church. But that's one of those things. It's like becoming president of the United States, right? Everybody says, if I was president, I'd do this, I'd do that and shit. And then you get there, and they fucking open the book and go, hey, bro, check this out. And then you're like, God damn it. You mean the only thing I can do is let lesbians join the army? That's it? That's all I can do? Yeah, check. Look, right here. It says right here, this is all you can do. So, the same thing happened to him when he became Pope. Some dudes took him in the back room and went, bro, look at this book. This is the only thing you can do. Yeah, the Book of Secrets. So, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but the church is a crazy thing. I would love to sneak around the church. What if we got some of those outfits?
The church outfits, the Pope
no,
outfits.
the guard, the what do they call those guys?
those crazy baggy.
Yeah, what if we got some of those outfits? Do you think we could just walk? If we had the outfits, do you think there's a place
like
where
a Swami or whatever the fuck?
The guards,
yeah,
they're guards with the fucking crazy steps,
with the big poofy. Fucking...
Yeah. Do you think there would be a place where they would go, bro? You're not supposed to be down here. Or everybody would just like, oh, it's those fucking weird dudes from the front door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You think we could get wherever we wanted to get?
Man, I don't know.
We might want to try that. Somebody find out where I can get one of those outfits.
All right, I have a 1930 French Foreign Legion hat.
Well, that kind of doesn't help us.
No, not in that aspect.
Not in that aspect. I mean, if we were in
it's a cool hat though. It's red.
If we were in some shithole in Africa, it would be.
Velvet.
That's right. I said it. Shitholes.
All of them are shitholes everywhere but here. I don't believe in aliens and UFOs and Bigfoot. John and Skully, do y'all? And if so, have either one of y'all had any experience where you thought you had an encounter with one or the other? I'm gonna have to go with no on that one.
I'm gonna have to go with no on all of it. I mean, here's the thing about Bigfoot. Here's the thing about Bigfoot. The reality is you got to have breeding pairs, and if there were breeding pairs, then we would.
Although the president of the Tennessee chapter of the Bigfoot hunters lives right up the road,
right up the road
in a shed.
So it wouldn't. It's not. It would never just be one dude running around in the woods. You got to have breeding pairs for it to. It's just like the Loch Ness monster.
The reality of it is that they transport, they teleport.
Oh, they come in and out of the universe, or they go through the thing. Yeah. So probably not going to find any fucking big feets.
Unigugus.
And when you say you don't believe in, or when people say they don't believe in UFOs, remember UFO only means unidentified flying object. A UFO could be a fucking 747 if you just look at it wrong, if you can't identify it. So I believe in UFOs, that we wrongly identify aircraft all the fucking time.
All right, let's cut
That's
that
it.
one.
We're gonna cut it.
Dude, we're not even a third through this.
All right, man. Hey, good seeing you guys. Stay out of trouble.
I got to pee.
John's got to pee. Want me to go in there with the camera?